This here is a custom skinny tank and a custom skinny flame job. So this was done for one of Gasoline Alley's clients. Gasoline Alley is a really fantastic custom bike builders. We now do their paintwork as well. So this came in. It was just a bare tank. The customer wanted it really skinny flames, really delicate, not too in your face, just on the side, not on the top, stuff like that. So we actually got a picture of what the bike needed, the whole frame, all the parts, all the components. We sprayed all of them in 2K in this baby blue sort of colour. Can't actually remember the rail code for it, but it was all done in this same baby blue colour. And then to do the flames, obviously, we scuffed this up. Done all the tape work, got them lines perfect. I mean, I'm not a fan of skinny flames myself, to be honest. I like big fat flames. So this was a first for me actually on the skinny flames. I don't think it came out too bad. It does need a little bit more polishing. As I'm moving this around in the light, there is a little couple of scuffs left from when it was cut and polished. So he's picking it up today, so I'm gonna give it a bit of a polish. Just it's basically done. It just needs another little tickle, and then it'd be ready to go. So this morning, I'm going to be doing a bit of polishing on the custom tank I did last week. Now, it's been cut and polished, but there was actually still some scratches left in it. So I'm going to have to give it a little another go because the customer's picking it up today and it ain't ready. So I'm going to go through polishing with her. So we've got a rotary DA here, rotary polisher. I'm just going to clean it off. We use a stiff brush like that. Give it a little zoom, and that'll get any dry bits off, anything that might scratch the paintwork further. So now I'm going to get a bit of raw 610 extreme. This is a really good polish. The only problem is it is quite expensive and it does run out pretty quick when I'm using it because I like smashing it on there, to which Brad loves not. So I'm just going to smear it around a little bit, get a bit of polish around there, just so we don't end up with big lumps that are going to fly off when we start off. I'm going to start it really slow. I'm going to put it on there number 2, just to get it warmed up. Spread that around a little bit, just so we don't end up with clumps flying around the room. I did actually yet again use a bit too much polish. So now I'm going to put it on number 3, and then we're going to work slowly, about 2 inches a second with a rotary. So with an orbital polisher, you want to go 1 inch per second. With a rotary, because it's that much more aggressive, you want to move a little bit quicker because the heat builds up a hell of a lot quicker with the rotary than when you're using a dual action polisher. So nice and gentle, only the pressure of the weight of the rotary. You don't need to put any pressure on yourself, just let the weight of the rotary do it itself. Gradually up and down, up and down. Now on a normal panel you would also go side to side like this. It's a little bit more difficult to do it like that on the tank because the tank likes to move around a lot. It's more often than not, there's nobody free to hold the tank for you while you're doing it. So that's the top. Just going to run down the side a little bit. Nice and gently. Like I said, I have already done this. There was just a few extra little scratches on the top. I don't actually need to be doing the side, but force of habit. We are creatures of habit. I've got to. I can't leave the sides, even though they're done. I'm going to give them another tickle. So we're going to do this with the extreme cut, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buff it off quick, and then I'm going to see where we're at. If it's good to go, then what I will do after is I'll get the glaze coat, and let me just get a microfiber cloth over here. I'm coming back, don't worry. So I'm going to give this a buff off with this. And then if this is done, I'll get the glaze coat. That's another raw product. In fact, I might run out of that. Might have to use something else, but we'll have a look. It's like a top coat polish, like a super resin. And what it does is it just finalises. So basically, when you polish, sometimes you get a little bit scratchy from doing the heavy cutting compound. So what we'll do is we'll do it with the cutting compound, get that as perfect as possible, and if it has left any markings, we can use the glaze coat just to go over the top. I like to use it anyway because it does leave, as you can see. I mean, that's pretty shiny, but I'll show you in a minute. When I do the glaze coat, it will come up absolutely glorious. It will be super smooth, super glossy, super shiny. It'd be fantastic. So that is there. So I've got rid of all of the last 3,000 scratches that were in it. So that's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. So I'm going to take this pad off. We're going to opt for a softer pad because we don't want to be putting more swells in there. We're going to stick that on there. We're going to... It's just quite distracting having an audience doing a video. So we're going to do the same process again. Brush it off. That's actually clean anyway. And I'm just going to go grab the... what I didn't grab earlier was the lighter polishing compound. Right, so I have run out of the glaze. So what I was going to say is that the 1030 raw polishing glaze is absolutely fantastic. This is just as good. This is the Auto Finesse Revitalize Stage 2 polishing. Oh, sugar plums. That definitely was not supposed to happen. There's me saying about how much polish is coming out. I always use too much. And I'm just going to dump. Oh, right, this is quite runny, so we definitely don't want that much because that is going to go everywhere. Right, so now we're going to repeat the process again over everything we've just polished. Slightly slower speed than that. I'm just going to put it on a 2. Same thing again. No effort, don't put any pressure on it. Let the rotary do all of the work itself. See there, it starts to lift up. And I'm not even putting any pressure on it. And what we don't want to do is after spending all that time doing a nice paint job, is then put a rotary on it, throw the thing across the room, smash it on the floor. So a bit quicker than before. We don't want to stay in one place too long, it'll get too hot. And then when it gets too hot, it lifts the paint or the lacquer. It'll either scald the lacquer and leave a horrible mark, or it will lift the paint and then it will rip the paint off. Which has happened before. I'm not going to pretend to you like it hasn't happened before because it has. It usually happens on my own motors though, to be fair. But I have learnt a lot over the years. I've put a lot more lacquer on than I used to. I'm a lot more careful than I used to be. I mean, I used to be a bit of a one-hit wonder. I used to like using the ultra solid lacquers and just smashing it in one coat, 2 coats. But now I'm 3 coats, 4 coats, especially with a custom tank. Like there's been tanks that I knew I was going to have to really cut and polish and really go ham on. And I've put like 5 coats of lacquer on it, and not because I'm not going to leave that 5 coats of lacquer on. I'm going to sand it flat, so perfectly flat that I'm probably going to lose 2 or 3 layers worth of lacquer by cutting it so much. So putting the 5 layers on just gives you that safety, just in case you do go through. Because we do push things, we do push it. We do try and get the best finish possible. Sometimes you can push it too far. I've done a full custom paint job. If you go on my TikTok, you probably would have seen it. It's a double base. It was a full custom paint job, Harley Davidson style, Hell's Angel style. It took me absolutely fucking ages. Done it, looked beautiful, cut and polished it, and at the very last minute, so I'd done it all. It was perfect, and there was one little corner, and I was like, oh, I don't really like that. So I hit it gently with the mop, and it ripped the corner off. Ripped the corner of the paint job off, and yeah, had to start again. Brilliant. So it does happen, but I say it does happen. It doesn't happen anymore. Obviously, I've learnt from my mistakes. I'm not no hillbilly painter anymore. So, right, this is the glaze. So we give that a little buff off now, and you'll see what I mean by the difference. I don't know if you'll see it on the camera. I can see it already. Like the finish is just completely different. It's like someone's layered it in Vaseline. It's just so smooth. You don't want to. You want to try and keep your hand off the panel as much as possible after you've polished it, because your hands are actually really abrasive. And the last thing you want to do is spend all that time cutting and polishing. Like I've spent 4 or 5 hours cutting and polishing a tank before. The last thing you want to do is pick it up with your dirty, scratchy hands, and even if they're immaculately clean, they're still abrasive. So the last thing you want to do is pick it up and start scratching it with your hand after you've spent all that time polishing it. Customer picks it up and goes, "Ew, what's all these scratches in the paintwork?" So there we go. Can you tell the difference in the video? I can tell the difference here. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely popping, that is. What a difference a bit of cut and polishing makes, eh? What a lovely, lovely finish. Beautiful.